Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back. I'm so glad you're here today, because I have a sweet little story to share with you. This one is for everyone, whether you're 5, 15, or 55. So settle in somewhere comfortable, maybe with a warm drink, and let's step into a gentle, heartwarming moment together. It was early morning in the little town of Willowbrook, and the sun was peeking over the rooftops, painting the sky with soft pinks and oranges. Birds chirped from the hedges, their tiny notes floating through the crisp air. Inside a small, ivy-covered cottage at the edge of town, Eleanor was sitting at her kitchen table, sipping tea from a blue porcelain cup. Today was a special day, her 70th birthday. The cottage smelled faintly of fresh bread, which she had baked the evening before. On the windowsill sat a vase of wildflowers, daisies, buttercups, and a sprig of lavender gifts from the neighbor's garden. Eleanor didn't expect much fuss. Birthdays were quieter these days. Still, she wore her favorite soft cardigan, the one the color of sunshine, just because it made her smile. She glanced outside at the frost-tipped grass, unaware that the townsfolk were already making plans. By late morning, the little lane outside Eleanor's cottage had grown unusually busy. Mrs. Green from the bakery passed by, carrying a basket covered with a checked cloth. The postman stopped longer than usual, chatting with Mr. Clark, the grocer. Eleanor, curious, peeked out her lace-curtained window, but saw only friendly smiles and quick waves. Inside, she began arranging the teacups on the table, just in case someone happened to drop by. She didn't know that her friends were quietly gathering at the village hall, stringing up paper bunting and placing small bunches of flowers in jars. A large sponge cake sat on the table, its white frosting dusted with tiny sugar flowers. That afternoon, a gentle knock came at her door. When she opened it, there stood a line of her friends, each holding something: a plate of biscuits, a bouquet, a wrapped gift tied with ribbon. "Come with us, Mrs. Enner," Green said warmly. "We've got a little something to show you." Eleanor's eyes widened as they led her down the lane, the cool winter air nipping at her cheeks. The doors to the village hall swung open, and the room glowed with golden light, the smell of fresh cake and cinnamon filling the air. Eleanor stepped inside, and for a moment, she simply stood still, taking it all in. Banners spelled out, "Happy Birthday, Eleanor," and tables were set with teacups, plates, and platters of sandwiches. A small fire crackled in the stone hearth, its gentle pops and crackles mixing with the soft murmur of voices. Someone pressed a warm cup of tea into her hands. The cake was cut, laughter filled the room, and the air seemed thick with kindness. Even the shy tabby cat from the corner shop had wandered in, curling up by the fire as though it belonged there. Eleanor realized she didn't need grand gifts or lavish plans, just the warmth of friends, the sound of laughter, and the comfort of knowing she was loved. Her heart felt full, like the coziest blanket on a cold evening. As the afternoon sunlight slanted in through the tall windows, she stood and thanked everyone, her voice soft but steady. "You've made this the happiest birthday I can remember." And to you, dear listener, thank you for joining me in this little story. If it made you smile, don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back soon for more gentle tales. Until next time, stay warm, stay kind, and take care of each other.